not likely that I'll ever get my shit together. Half my life I felt like I was under the weather. All my future endeavors are far from dull. Getting fucked up on the train tracks, never wanna take those days back. Barely ever slept back then, that's the thing, nothing's changed. I know, I was young, I was living my life like a goddamn idiot. Started shit and we finished it, at least I lived my life with style. I no longer feel so proud. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I feel the fire it burns. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. You know I miss the boys, they're out in Santa Cruz. Some days wish I lived on the moon, never had to meet another douchebag. Think back to when I met the boys, age 19. We were living on Chandler Street, fucking it up in December. Never could have guessed after all the times we cheated that I'll be standing here in my head, my heart, my spirit, someone insane. Really should have guessed after all the times that we got faded, that my brain might get downgraded. Thank God, I think I'm feeling alright. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I feel the fire it burns. I feel a fire again, I feel a spark inside my heart, I feel alive again. I just got sick of the lose, so I decided to grow. Yeah, and decided to glue. Sick of the loss. I just got sick of the lose, so I decided to grow. Yeah, and decided to glue. Sick of the loss. I just got sick of the most, so I decided to grow. Yeah, and decided to grow. Sick of the most. Break my bones, 10 pieces all on my own. Smile and try to pretend nothing's falling apart. Scared I grew up in, didn't even care at all. Wasting my days, trapped in my skull. Feel so alone, but I'm not lonely at all. Do you even wanna take? Let's know. Won't you give me some space? Well, let's go out there to play. I'm finally giving. Swear I'm not falling apart. I wait until the sixth season. Didn't even care at all. Wasting my days, trapped in my skull. Feel so alone, but I'm
Yo, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. For those of you that didn't know, I was out of town. Did a little traveling. Unfortunately, I wanted to live stream. I just never got the chance to. Every time I wanted to live stream, I was in the middle of the ocean catching fish. Nice to see that we've got a lot of people in here today. Should be a big one. Should be nice. A lot of crazy shit happened over the last, week. Just gonna diagnose everything that happened. So, for those of you who don't know, all of this movement in here is completely inorganic. It's more or less used to liquidate shorts or even liquidate longs. Honestly, this isn't necessarily bullish nor bearish behavior. In my opinion, the whole thing's bearish because we are in a giant bear flag. But all of this movement is not organic. This is not how a bullish move forms. This is ultimately not how a bearish move forms either. Obviously zooming out, daily looks pretty ugly. It looks like we're kind of in this bear flag symmetrical triangle. Honestly, I would not be surprised if we did something like this and back down. It really depends. But just diagnosing what's happened, and if you've had a hard time trading all of this mess, you are not the only one. I don't know anybody who's traded this over the last couple days that's been successful. Not one person. People are going to post their wins and their losses, whatever. I can guarantee you for every one win they've had over this last week, they have 10 or 20 losses. This is not organic movement. This is not predictable movement. And anyone who tells you that is just completely full of themselves. First things first, we ended up dumping all the way down to 18.6. That was more or less expected. But right after that dump, we had a 12% bounce. Excuse me, a 12% bounce due to FTX basically spamming a bunch of buy orders to cause short liquidation. I mean, more or less, a lot of people were shorting down here, and it was easy liquidation strategy. Well, right after we did that, we ended up going all the way back down, 10% down over the course of the next day. And then the following day after that, again, we go up about another 10% in a very, very short amount of time. And since then, we've, again, another 5% down, and then immediately a 8% up. So again, guys, if you're struggling to trade this, you're not the only one. I've taken losses too. Unfortunately, I've made stupid trades that I shouldn't have. Obviously very low risk, but still a loss still hurts. None of this is organic. None of this is, I won't want to say should or shouldn't be happening, but this kind of shit doesn't happen anywhere but crypto. This is entirely manipulative. In my opinion, it's setting up for a big liquidation, more or less to the downside. If you've looked at a Kingfisher graph over the last week, basically you have long liquidations from here all the way down to here. In my opinion, they send it down and then, send it through the flag. Ultimately, I am macro bearish, so I'm going to stick to my bias here. But again, it wouldn't surprise me if they sent this back up and then back down, like a little fake breakout. We've seen that several different times before. One thing I do want to note, volume is extremely low. Why is volume low? Guys, it is 4th of July week in the United States, I guess 2 weeks. So basically you have people took off last week, and then you'll have a bunch of people take off this week. So not a lot of people are trading, so this kind of movement can happen during this time period. Thank you for the happy birthday. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. What's up, Marie? How you doing? Giovanni, how's it going, man? I got to show you guys my my gold necklace I bought. Bought a nice little expensive chain. Needed to rock the Italian blood a little bit more. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to highlight that. I feel like a lot of people are confused. They're like, what is with all these crazy moves? Bullish behavior. This isn't organic bullish behavior. And I would argue that it's not organic bearish behavior either. If you are looking to trade this, I would wait for a very clear sign on a 4-hour, like something like this, where we get a head and shoulders. Or, we zoom out even further, something like this, like there's a head and shoulders here, there's a head and shoulders here. This I didn't understand. That was a little manipulation. A breakdown and a retest here. I would wait for a very clear direction. I wouldn't go and trade something just because you feel like it's going to go down, because we're at a state in the market where these exchanges aren't making as much money as they want because retail is basically gone. So there's not really a lot of people left to liquidate other than the traders. So how do you trade this? And I would say that you don't. Wait for a clear direction. Wait for a pattern to establish. Wait for volume to confirm the pattern in the breakdown. And ultimately, don't be surprised if this continues happening over the next couple months. It's really been happening this entire wave down. But ultimately, while we're ranging, it is extremely likely that we continue doing stuff like this. Now that the golden cross happened and your target of 17K was hit, what's next? I mean, honestly, dude, I think we're going to go lower. The stock market really hasn't crashed. The economy is not doing good. And I'm looking forward, right? The economy looks fine right now, right? Like, we're looking in the now. The economy looks okay. But there are statistics that point towards a major recession. Like, whether it happens, and I believe we're in recession now. We're seeing the entry-level phases of recession where people are kind of panicking. People are running out of money. There's a huge... I mean, I'm under the impression that hedge funds and banks are anticipating, again, another huge mortgage fallout. Houses are still pretty close to all-time highs, and really the stock market hasn't dropped that much. DXY could have topped out at 108, 109 before correcting move. I think it already corrected, but we'll get to that in a moment. So Dow Jones, what's happening? Honestly, guys, this is kind of expected. Just a little bit of correction here. Wouldn't be shocked if we maybe hit 32,000 and went even lower. Again, nothing really looks bullish here other than a bounce to reset indicators. We were ultimately very oversold here. Got a little bit of divergence. A bounce was pretty expected in my opinion. S&P, again, kind of tippy-toeing off the Dow Jones. Nothing's really changed. Ultimately, looking to do something like this. I still don't think structure has changed at all. Like, we haven't bottomed. We're not even close, in my opinion. Again, we're only down 20%. And that's a lot in the stock market, right? 20% is a lot, but I think there's a lot more pain coming. Actually, I don't want to say I think. I know there's a lot more pain coming. People are going to start running out of money, and all these things that they're buying and all the businesses that are being kept afloat due to debt and consumer buying right now, I mean, it's going to get ugly. It is definitely going to get ugly. Hello, Oracle. You were spot on. Thanks. Oh, no problem. And for those of you that don't know, I actually need to remove the bot, the Mexi bot. I'm going to do that here in a moment. But I have disaffiliated myself with Mexi. There was a little bit of a mess on Thursday or Friday, and they actually cleared it up. But there was a wick that went all the way down to like 0 on Bitcoin, and then went over a 16-hour period, did this, and then shot back up. So if you're looking at like a 4-hour, and Mexi denies that this happened, Mexi's saying this, that, or the other thing. It just, to me, I didn't want to be affiliated with someone that. One, they didn't even announce that they're like, so what they told me was there's a trading view error, right? Like there's a trading view bug that didn't actually happen on Mexi. It didn't happen. It wasn't real. And guys, I don't buy it. I'm not buying it, and I'm not affiliating myself with someone. Like, it literally did this. This is a 4-hour, right? It literally did this. It shot all the way down, went like this for 16 hours, and then shot all the way back up. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. And whether they covered up something or whether, maybe it didn't happen, you need to alert people. You need to tell people, hey, there was an error on trading. Like right when it happened, they should have said, hey, there was an error on TradingView. We, we're fixing it. Nothing actually happened. It was just an error. Don't worry about it. Yada, yada, yada. And that never happened. The guy that I talked to from Mexi was like, oh, yeah, we didn't know, this, that, another thing. We didn't know. We weren't, all this. I'm like, this is your exchange that you work for every single day. You guys have traders that work for Mexi. You have, obviously, like the influencers like myself that were partnered with them. And nobody caught it. I didn't catch it because I was on vacation not watching charts. And someone sent me a Mexi chart and was like, yo, check this out. And it's not my job to catch all of these errors for you. And if you guys can't work, if If you guys can't work with transparency or catch your own errors, it just seems fishy and I want it out. Just wanted to get out. Crazy chart is gold. Yeah, I'll take a look at gold in a moment. What about monkeypox and stimulus COVID round 2? I doubt it. I have never even heard of monkeypox really doing anything. I think that's just more bullshit going on. Ether 2.0, where do you think Ether is going for long? I think Ethereum will eventually go to 10 or 20K. I really do. I don't think it's going to go over the next year, though. In a macro perspective, if we dump to 13K zone, would it be a good place to start accumulating? It really depends whether the stock market has crashed or not. Don't you think all these things matter if most people buy spot? Many people play future, so I don't think any economic conditions matter. Many people long exchanges will do. Yeah, but you don't have retail participants to push the market up, and institutions are selling tens of thousands of Bitcoin. So unless you get this new enormous wave of retail that's absorbing from the institutions, there's just no way. Like, no way you can convince me we're just going to spaceship up. We're not in economic conditions where money's being borrowed and money's being thrown at everything and economic expansion's happening. You're actually in conditions where decline should happen. And ultimately, if we continued expanding, we continued borrowing money, lending money, giving out stimulus, it's just going to hurt us in the long run. So yeah, you might get your temporary Bitcoin to 100K, which, you know, I'd be in favor of that, make a 5x, but in the long run, we'd be absolutely screwed. And if you weren't a millionaire by 100K, you're screwed. There are people that make hundreds of thousands of dollars that are panicking now, and because they've basically been living outside their means because they've been able to. And now that they have all these things are way too expensive for them to afford, they're going to have to adjust. And that's when the shit's going to hit the fan. It's probably not going to be by the end of July. It's probably not going to be August. But mid to late fall, hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's good. It's coming down. 100%. NASDAQ. Ultimately, you know, just kind of getting some relief. It wouldn't surprise me if we just did this. Just kind of keep it simple, guys. We have not really changed structure. Excuse me. We have not really changed structure. We have not really seen any kind of area that suggests, or any kind of economic change that says we're going to just melt up. And a lot of people think the economy and the, you know, when I say a lot of people, you'd be surprised. A lot of people think the economy is like an altcoin where a couple $100,000 goes into it and it moons, right? Guys, this is the US economy that's driven by millions of different things. And even if CPI is lower than 0.75, even if it's 0.25, that is not bullish at all. You have to think about it this way. Yes, you might get a low rate. Yes, it might be short-term bullish. But increasing rates, increasing interest rates are happening regardless, and that is bearish. Okay, until those rates either stable out completely, like we see 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. But honestly, I just don't see it happening. I don't see that scenario happening at all. They have to fix this now or we're screwed. And you better hope they fix it. They need to. It's their job. Yo, what up, Wine Live Tasting? How's it going? It'd be too big damage when crypto industry when Bitcoin drops below 15K. I don't think so. I mean, crypto's pretty widely adopted and available. It's pretty much everywhere now. There's commercials, there's institution involvement. And in my opinion, just because Bitcoin could drop, if it drops to 3K, like your altcoins are going to really suffer. I think a lot of them won't go anywhere ever again. But Bitcoin and Ethereum, in my opinion, are here to stay, and I don't think they're going to go anywhere. What's my most bearish target for Bitcoin? Sub 10K, like 6K. Honestly, I don't think we get it, but it's possible. Very, very possible. All right, let's move on to the VIX. So for those of you who don't know the VIX, I don't know how valid this data is because it doesn't stretch beyond the 1990s. But essentially your recession bottom here is, I believe this is 2008. And then I believe this is the COVID crash, which marked two very significant bottoms in this market. I believe this is the 2000s, and then this would be also the 2000s, because I believe the 2000s did something like that. Let me just double check really quick. So here's your 2000, and then here's 2008. So ultimately what I'm trying to point out is the VIX being above 50 kind of marks a near bottom for the stock market. We're not even halfway there. So again, just another small indication that we've got a little ways to go. Total charts, more or less kind of consolidating underneath resistance, kind of bouncing off this support level. Again, nothing that really tells me we're going to do something like that. Not in the slightest. I still believe we have to consolidate more, maybe go up like this and then come down. But for now, I just don't see that scenario playing out. Total 2, same kind of thing. I'm still on the range that we get some kind of a dead cat bounce here, a nice little long opportunity. And again, this is total 2. So total 1 will probably go up 25%. Total 2, 32, maybe 35%. Some relief needs to happen at some point. Ultimately, I don't think 3 weekly candles here tell us that this is going to reverse, even the daily. This kind of looks like a wannabe double bottom that really isn't a double bottom. One, because we wicked several percent below. It just kind of looks like a big bear flag at the moment. Total 3, again, not trying to waste a lot of time here, but more or less making that bear flag. Not really seeing many signs of reversal here yet. Any recommendations one exchange a newbie should start on? I have no experience in crypto, but I'd like to start learning. So for those of you who don't know, I am an affiliate. I'm affiliated with Bitkit. If you use my link, you get 15% off fees. You also get up to a 4,100 deposit bonus. It is the lowest fee offered by any exchange if you use my link because you get the 15% off. I really like them. They've got a friendly mobile app. They've got really good customer support. And if you have something, so if you're like, hey, could you guys add this? And you talk to their tech support, they will add it. They're very responsive. And I've had nothing but good experiences with them, other than, losing trades, which is my own fault. But I've had nothing but a positive experience with them, and I'm really happy to be affiliated with them. They do have a leveraged futures trading option. They also have spot trading options. It's really easy. They don't have like withdrawal holding times or anything like that, and they have really high security. So if you're new and you want to use, an exchange I recommend is Bitkit. I'm partnered with it for a reason. I use them for a reason. Like 66% of my portfolio is on Bitkit, and the other 30% is in my DCA, making interest. So, but yeah, that's what I recommend. Which, I already read that. Excuse me. All right, let's move on to the DXY. DXY, huge breakout. This is pretty bullish, and it's still continuing to be bullish. It's still holding our channel here. Ultimately, I want to see 110, possibly higher than 110. But for now, guys, this is about as bearish as it gets for stocks and crypto. The DXY broke a historical level that's been, resistance several different times, all the way in the 90s, even back over here in the 80s. And now that we've broken it, I mean, I don't want to say goodbye crypto, nothing's set in stone, but this is pretty ugly for crypto. I mean, for the DXY, it's very bullish. Fundamentally, it's very bullish. They're raising rates. This should continue to show bullishness in the chart. People are going to tell you that this is divergence. This is not divergence yet. If we get a red candle, or we do this, again, still not showing any signs of reversal. I'm still very, very bullish. This could continue going up. We've seen it much higher than it is right now. We've seen it all the way at the 91 point level. We've seen it several times. So if we're really going to top out or get a big correction, I would expect the 80 to 90 level, RSI level, to be tested again. And the next level of resistance is about that 110-ish area. Here's the historical. So we kind of reject 109, 110, bouncing a little bit here. Again, a breakdown retest about that 110 level. So again, 110 is the next level to pay attention to. This is a breakout. This is very, very bullish for the DXY. USDT.D. I mean, pretty much doing what I said last live stream. We obviously broke our resistance a couple weeks ago. Bitcoin got its big dump. Now we're more or less consolidating in a bull flag. So you'll notice that Bitcoin is actually consolidating in a bear flag, and USDT.D is consolidating in a bull flag. What this means is every time USDT.D goes up, so if this goes up, Bitcoin will go down. And for now, it's consolidating. This is very, very, very bullish for the. This is very, very bearish for crypto, but very, very bullish for USDT.D, USDT dominance. So ultimately, just kind of in a bear flag. Let's even look at the daily. Yeah, it's very, very obvious. It's doing the exact opposite of Bitcoin. This is a huge bull flag. And again, I'd more or less consider that this goes up. Let's even draw a small trend line here just to see. So yeah, we could honestly do this and then go up like this. Could be several different days. Again, Bitcoin's kind of at the top of its flags, and I believe USDT.D is near the bottom. Let's even draw a little. Yeah, so honestly, near the bottom, kind of bouncing. So if you want to see Bitcoin break out, USDT.D needs to break down. Honestly, needs to lose the 7% level for Bitcoin to even be moderately bullish. But for now, not looking good for crypto. I mean, this is pretty much as bullish as it gets, or really as bearish as it gets for crypto, but bullish as it gets for USDT.D. And consolidation will be fine. I believe the daily's fine, reset to go up. The weekly's a little bit overbought here, overbought or whatever for USDT.D. But honestly, it would not surprise me if next week this went up and broke out even further. I mean, this is essentially in a parabolic advance. And it's in price discovery too, which we don't really know where resistance is. We don't have any historical data to back that. So again, another big reason why I'm so bearish on crypto. Now, if USDT.D went up and maybe made a double top like this, confirmed it under like that, then I would start really being midterm, maybe even longer term bullish on crypto. But for now, it's not even looking likely. This thing doesn't even look like it wants to stop yet. On the $30 Patreon, if I upgrade, can I just pay the difference? Honestly, I am not entirely sure if Patreon does that. I'm not entirely sure. I would reach out to their team and say, hey, if I upgrade, will I save the $30 or whatever? If you don't, I can see if I can send it back to you. But honestly, I have no idea. I would reach out to Patreon and they'll give you an answer for sure. They're pretty good about responding. But yeah, speaking of that, I am going to start the live classes in September. I'm drawing up the entire template, syllabus of the class. For those of you who don't know, I taught a live class, and there are also videos posted. So if you weren't able to make the live class, you could go back, watch the videos, ask any questions. My first round of students, it was very successful. I still have students that are in and learning and still paying for that, so they clearly enjoy it. They're clearly learning a lot. And just for a lot of you, trading is not something that you can learn, over a week or a month-long period. So I really have like a 4 or 5 month class with about 30 to 40 videos that are about an hour to an hour and a half long. In the meantime, of those live sessions coming in September, I have all the prior videos up on Patreon. So if that's something you're interested in, you're more than welcome to go check it out. But yes, live sessions will be in September. All right, let's keep moving on. So Bitcoin. Ultimately, again, I'm not even going to look at the weekly now because we pretty much have a good idea of the weekly for Bitcoin. But here's the daily. So daily, one thing I noticed, we have very, very low volume here. We kind of failed a breakout here, and we more or less are failing a breakout here. Would it surprise me if the next daily candle went like this and then down? Not at all. I think that's very possible, but for now, not really seeing anything that says bullish. I know a lot of people are saying that this is a double bottom. I disagree with that. One, again, we wicked significantly lower. Yes, we made a similar close, but for me, a double bottom is very explosive. You double bottom and then go up. We are double bottoming, and this is all inorganic movement. For those of you that weren't here for the beginning of the live stream, I had said that on the 4 hour, this is very, very inorganic movement. And I'll even show you what a double bottom looks like and how it reacts. So here is a 4 hour double bottom. And I want you to notice something. We are in a very tight range here. I believe it's about 10%. Very clean double bottom. You know, the closes are similar. We don't wick below. Very, very low volume, making that double bottom looking pattern. And then we explode, right? We explode upwards. If you want to see another example, let's even do it. Let's pull up another example. Even here, I know this is the 4 hour, but on the daily, this is a double bottom. On the daily, we have several indications that point upwards as well. We have ultimately very low volume here. We have some divergences in RSI, divergences in MACD. Ultimately, price action was very bullish in here. And for those of you that don't know, I was very, very bullish in this area. I did not think that this was going to go below 30K. And then we explode upwards. We have lots of volume coming in. And then it kind of teeter-totters down, and that's why we have this crash. But even here, on the 4 hour, it was very, very double bottom. Like even the daily, I mean, this is a very tight range, very, very much a double bottom in here. Let's go back. So yeah, daily, I mean, ultimately, I think we come lower. Would it be possible to do something like this? Absolutely. I would be looking to short this as long as a 4 hour gave me a pattern. But for now, I'm more or less trying to stay out and away from all of this manipulative movement. For those of you that, again, weren't here, this is not organic movement at all. Again, speaking off the terms of our double bottom, let's say you thought this was a double bottom. Why on earth would we explode, come down, and then we have very low volume trying to break this area of resistance? That tells me there's not enough momentum. I mean, look at MACD. Not enough momentum to really push that 20,500 level. Now, could it happen? Could an exchange like FTX send a bunch of buy orders in again, liquidate everybody? Absolutely. But I don't see it happening. Also, our Kingfisher graph, like we have ammo going down. Like all these longs are positioned in here. It would make more sense if we dumped. Even if we bounced here, made a double bottom here, and then went up, yeah, I would for sure long this. But for now, I don't think any of this is bullish. This is very inorganic, manipulative movement. And again, I don't see it. I don't see the bullish narrative. I don't see the signals. Again, we have volume going down as price is pretty much hitting this resistance area. Volume very, very low overall. Like we really haven't seen a very large volume spike. To me, it just looks like it's setting up for more distribution. On top of that, we had over 150,000 Ethereum move to FTX over the last couple days. It would make perfect sense that they keep price here, even if it's only for the next hour, and then they dump it. They need price higher so when they dump, it just doesn't crash to the floor. They want to sell at the highest price or the best price they can get. Also, on top of that, tens of thousands of Bitcoin coming into exchanges. The only reason this is pumped is due to derivative exchanges as well. If you want that kind of information, my homie Inspo Crypto posts all that information publicly on Twitter. Highly recommend him. He's a very intelligent guy, and he posts very accurate, unbiased data as well. If it was really, truly bullish, he would be telling you. Can you check others? .d is everything else besides Bitcoin, Ethereum dominance? I can, but my only problem is altcoins are going to basically just go down. Altcoins are going to do what they're going to do. And I know that's very hard to understand, but in a bear market, altcoins are either one, used as exit liquidity. Two, they're used to liquidate people. I'm not. It's not that I would say don't trade altcoins, but I always tell my students don't trade altcoins in the bear market. Focus on Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if an altcoin has, like, look at Link. Link had a perfect double bottom here, right? And then immediately hits resistance and goes down because Bitcoin failed to make a higher high. Bitcoin failed to pump forward. And now you're looking at a failed setup here. So if you were trying to long this breakout, I mean, if you long the bottom here, you made a nice gain. But longing this breakout just wasn't an option. So if you're under my impression, I would look to short altcoins ultimately. Look for those setups and short them. I wouldn't look for altcoins to long yet, unless you're looking to dollar cost average. But again, I recommend dollar cost averaging Bitcoin and Ethereum. But backing off the 4 hour, let's do a little bit more analysis here. So one thing I noticed is MACD. It's looking weak. It's following the volume profile where volume's going down, attempting to break out here. Again, we have bearish divergences here. We had a higher high here, but a lower high in RSI. We also have, again, lower volume. This just doesn't look like the type of setup that's going to pump. Now, could it? Sure, this is crypto. Anything can happen. But on a trading standpoint, this just doesn't look like anything that really tells me up. Also, the 1 day, more or less rejecting the 20 moving average. I mean, could we close above? Sure. But if this is resistance, we need to see a lot more volume. A lot more volume. I mean, more volume than we've seen throughout this. So for me, this isn't a legitimate breakout. Yeah, these fake pumps are annoying for sure, and it's making me trade them less and less. It really is. I'm sick and tired of losing on all of these, I guess, scam pumps. I mean, they're not organic, and they pretty much come out of nowhere. I've had people tell me, "Oh, you didn't expect that. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're doing." Like, how on earth is someone going to expect something like this? Or even expect something like this, right? Like, there's no setup. There's no nothing. Nothing that tells you that other than manipulation by an exchange. We also had evidence of manipulation by FTX here, by FTX here. Ultimately, I think this is to set up sell, like a sell order for Ethereum or even Bitcoin from FTX. Last 3 days, including today, not close. Bitcoin daily is above EMA 8. If it not dumped today, will it invalidate your thesis? No. I really don't use moving averages that much. To me, if we zoom in even further, this looks like distribution. You're seeing very clearly here volume tapering off. A couple big volume spikes here, but that's because they're volatile. Again, MACD looking to fade. Some bearish divergence here. To me, this looks like we're going to come back down, maybe test this area, maybe test it again, but honestly, I think we're going to fall through it. We draw just a very simple trend line here. If you want to look for a short, I would wait for a breakdown of that line. But again, don't be surprised if we break it and then wick back up. That would not surprise me at all. I'm trying to wait until I see a very clear pattern on the 4 hour, and if I end up missing a trade or if I miss out on a 5 to 10% move, it's not going to change my life at the end of the day. So I don't really care to trade something like that. And I'm not a day trader. My income isn't from day trading. So, excuse me. Here. Yeah, it's a good point. You could continue to trade the range, but I'm not really a range trader. Like, I like to wait for the setup. I like to wait to see an inverted head or a head and shoulders here, or maybe a double bottom here. This isn't a double bottom, but let's say we get a double bottom here. These are the types of trades I want to make. I wouldn't be longing here, and I wouldn't be shorting here. One, because I had no idea if this was support and this was resistance yet until these candles came. And honestly, I don't even know where the next support is. It could be here at 19. It could be here at 18. Because we haven't had that second big test yet. All I know is that we're making a triangle so far. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in. But for now, I'm not leaning bullish on Bitcoin. I know that's kind of been my shtick for like the last several months, but can you blame me? Can you blame me? I was bearish here. I was bearish on this pump. Obviously bearish here. Bearish here. And could this be the bottom? Sure, but I want to see more signals that tell me that it's the bottom. I don't think macroeconomic-wise this is the bottom. I don't think TA-wise that this is the bottom. There's nothing that really says on a chart or fundamentally that Bitcoin should be breaking 22,000. You know how much money I made on AGLD today? You should be trading the crazy. Yeah, but I'm not a day trader. I've made enough money in crypto to swing trade. And if I can go 3 or 4 years without trading at this point. Obviously, you guys know I'm affiliated with Bitkit. They're a great exchange. I'll support them. And obviously I get paid from them. I get paid from the interest account that I have, which is quite a bit now. And I teach the classes. So all of those things are taking me away from day trading, because day trading crypto is like giving yourself cancer. You have all of these little scam wicks. You have, and I'll even show you real quick because I wouldn't even bother trading alts. You have all these scam wicks. I mean, ultimately, we thought the range could have been here, and we actually broke down, came back up, broke down again, came back up. So now I have to adjust my line again. Ultimately, I don't see it. I don't see the value in day trading. Now, granted, if a 4-hour gives me a very clean pattern like this head and shoulders, I mean, this is an easy, 10 to 12% gain, easy. I mean, you could still be holding this, and we're most likely going to curl down here. I don't see anything that says that this should reverse. People saying anything bullish is only very short term. If someone is bullish, they shouldn't be trading. Yeah, exactly. You can invest in uranium. I don't think you can. I don't know. Why do you think investing in uranium during this ongoing energy crisis and countries looking at alternative sources of energy? I don't know. I'd imagine it'd be good, but I'm pretty sure the European Union's like getting rid of nuclear power. Chainlink is extremely bullish right now. I don't know about that, man. To be honest with you, I don't see a setup here. I don't really see where you're getting your bullishness from. Could this be a double bottom? Maybe. But honestly, she's forming another flag. I mean, you have a very clear fake out right here. Obviously support here, resistance here. I mean, for now, I don't see how Chainlink is showing anything bullish yet. Plus, if Bitcoin's bearish, it doesn't matter. Alts will dump. Altcoins follow Bitcoin, guys. Just remember that. What about KDA? I don't really look at altcoins, man. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll pull it up at the end of the live stream, but for the most part, I don't really look at alts. I think, they just follow Bitcoin. If we're in the bull market, if we're in the height of the bull market, yeah, I'll look at altcoins. I'll look for setups, but for now, I don't see investing in altcoins being a very positive move. Quick check on gold. Yeah, I'll pull up gold. So gold. Wow, we actually dumped through that. So looks like my double top call is coming into fruition. Very, very solid. I'm sure Peter Schiff is rolling in his grave right now. Also, if you guys didn't know, I believe Uganda found like $7 trillion worth of gold. Not $17 trillion worth of gold. Like literally doubled the gold supply. But honestly, guys, even in 2008, gold dropped, right? Gold made a double top and dropped quite significantly. I believe this is 30%. That's huge. That is a huge drop on gold. So, again, a drop here, maybe come down to this level, this 1500 level, would not surprise me at all. That's something that I'd be more or less expecting. We've seen gold really not perform the way that people think it does during economic downturn. What do I think about the FOMC minutes? I think they're bullshitting us again. I think they're lying to everybody, and ultimately, I'm not too keen on them. I don't even look at them because I know where we're going. I think they're totally screwing people. They didn't even mention the word recession today, from what I saw, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, we can just change this in a couple months. We'll just change that, and everything will be okay." Guys, gas is the highest it's ever been in some states, in some countries. Costs of goods everywhere have gone up 20 to 50%. Every asset is pretty much at its all-time high. We're just seeing crypto fall the fastest and the most furious because it's a volatile asset, it's a speculative asset. But honestly, and I'm going to pull up a 30-minute just so we can watch while I rant here, but honestly, I just don't see how anything the Fed says benefits us in any way, other than them looking to get a little bit of a pump somehow. Yeah, and that's a big point, J Baby. I think the Fed is not giving us what we need to hear. So we need to hear that we're going to get rate increases and that the economy is going to shit, because midterms are in a couple months. If the Democrats, and you guys got to think, I'm not, giving political advice here, but if you want to keep your job, if you're a representative or senator or whatever, and you want to keep your job, you want your party, which the party is led by Democrats right now, which the Fed is going to respond to the Democratic agenda. You want the Fed to have your back, right? You want the Fed to say, hey, ultimately, these conditions aren't bad and we can fix it and yada, yada, yada. But for now, they're basically just screwing everybody for midterms to keep people having their jobs. But honestly, I don't think it matters. I think it's pretty obvious where we're headed over the next at least year or so. Next all-time high will come near the next halving. I mean, that's a good idea, but I'm not too sure about that either. What's up, Bart? How you doing? What's my opinion on Solana? I don't know. It depends if NFTs ever do anything, honestly. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. Holding support. If this dumps, right? So if this dumps, if USDT.D dumps, I could see a pump by Bitcoin. But for now, it looks like it's hanging on to support. Kind of in between support and resistance. I don't really have a grasp. I would say, because we have this big red candle, maybe we retest this again, get that double bottom, and head back up. I'm macro bearish. I don't see anything that says bullish so far. Is this a good moment to buy a house? Unless you want to buy houses at all-time high, I'd say no. Do not buy a house right now. I would say wait it out and wait for the housing market to crash, because it's coming. It is definitely coming. Let's take a look at Ethereum, and then I'll look at maybe a couple altcoins. So again, Ethereum more or less looking like a flag. Some people are saying this is double bottom. I would disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. One, because we're not seeing the explosive movement we need. Two, volume's very low. No divergences here. We've barely been in a range. I mean, we've been in a range for, 2 or 3 weeks? I don't see it happening yet. You trade on Wave Trade Global? I do not. I trade with Bitkit. Bitkit Global. Look at this. Look at this pump. Check this out. Big pump going into close. And it's getting rejected. What a surprise. Let's see if this holds. Let's see if we can break our upward diagonal line. Let's see where this goes. And ultimately, I just don't see it happening. If we do break out, then we break out. Maybe we take a small long, anticipating that maybe 22K breaks. I'm going to be macro bearish whether we hit 25, 28K or not. Ultimately, I do think that we need a large bounce. If you guys look at the weekly, we're the most oversold we've ever been. But for now, I mean, we can't really say that this range has played out very significant. I mean, we could literally hit 22 and head straight back down. Again, volume's still very low. We're just about to touch this upward diagonal line again. And, let's see. Let's see what happens come day close. If we can close a daily candle above this area, like 20,600, I will consider throwing in a small long. However, I don't see it happening yet. I do not see it happening. But let's see. We're only $100 away. Girlfriend's at the grocery store. Gotta make sure she gets what she needs. Let's see. Oh, here it comes. My room looks so empty. Am I poor? Yeah, I'm poor, dude. Totally poor. Like, what? Guys, I'm in my basement, and this is a house I rent because I'm waiting to buy a huge house in Florida. This is called being financially savvy and sucking it up for a year while I wait for the housing market to. Am I poor? There was someone else that came in and asked that. It was freaking nuts. They were like, "Oh, you're poor. You don't know this. You don't know that." Guys, I've been trading for 6 years. I've got more money than anyone I know my age, except for Stizzy. If you guys are in Discord, I definitely don't have as much as Stizzy, but I'm doing just fine. Just fine. First time hitting these vids live. Always watch your videos. Great work. Oh, thank you, Bavo. I appreciate it. Is this a good time to long? Again, if we can somehow break out of our daily diagonal here, and I would wait for a daily close, right? So wait to get above. It could be a small long. I gave my students, I gave them both a long and short trading strategy. We could break this diagonal, small long here, and if we break above 22, I would definitely consider throwing in a very large, not a very large position, but a medium-sized position. I'd probably be in 30, 40%. But ultimately, I'm not too keen on this. I mean, you guys have to remember, when you break resistance, you need to see a lot of volume. This is not a lot of volume. Again, 4 hour. This is hardly any volume. Your volume is downward sloping and seeming to, downward slope. I mean, let's even look at the other spot exchange. Here's Coinbase. Here's Bitget. Here's Binance USDC. And then here is Bitstamp. I mean, I don't see it. We'll probably reject here again, in my opinion. Looking to short around 21K. I mean, it's a good, definitely a good option. How far are we from there now? We're probably 4, 5, 6%, somewhere around there. I'm still under the impression that this doesn't break out, and even if it does, it's fake. I mean, just look at the volume. It's just not non-existent. It's not there. How can you be my student? Go check out Patreon. I've got a couple different options. Read through them, please. A lot of you guys send me questions that you can literally answer yourself if you just read through. There's my alert that goes off telling me we hit the top of the range. But a lot of you guys have questions about the Patreon stuff, and you can have those questions answered if you just read the Patreon stuff. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you read it. But yeah, rejecting off our diagonal. If you are a short trader, you could definitely short here. Again, 4 hour. This is not enough volume to break a very large resistance, but we will see. We will definitely see if it. I'm even going to make these as precise as I can. Right about there. And right about there. So yeah, I mean, this is just looking like a perfect short setup. But if we do, and risk reward wise, let's check this out. You're looking at maybe a 1% loss to about a 7% gain. So a 7-to-1 trade. I would take it. I would definitely take it. No, I don't really watch altcoins to trade. Yeah, let's see if we reject it. We got to see if we get a 4 hour close. Looks like we got another 2 hours, so I'll probably end this live stream before the close, but let's just see. Let's see what happens. I mean, even the 1 hour, guys, the 1 hour, look at this volume. That's just not, you need volume to validate a breakout. Even if we do break out, I don't see it. I don't see it. Right? Look at the 15. 15's already overbought. I mean, we're overbought and very clearly rejecting here. Let's just wait. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. But yeah, for any of you guys looking for a better exchange to trade on, I recommend Bitget. I mean, I will fully back them. As some of you may know, I disaffiliated with Mexi. There was some weirdness in the air, and my job has always been to provide the best content and reliable. I'm not going to partner with people that are actively looking to scam. I'm not going to partner with sketchy companies and all this madness that goes on in the crypto space. What's the period settings for MACD? I don't think you can change them. but here they are: fast length, slow length, signal smoothing. I mean, it's pretty much default, I'm pretty sure. The circle's homothetic centers model shows that there's going to be a bull run soon. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Not gonna lie. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Not using market ciphers, and you keep it so simple with very funky indicators. Seems like I've been right for the last 6 to 8 months. So props. Oh, thank you. I'm a price action trader. Realistically, I really only look at this, and I really only look 4 hour and above. Again, guys, I don't see this breaking out when volume is tapering off so much. To me, this is a short setup, but we'll see. I mean, there's 2 hours left. I mean, we're already rejecting, so we'll see. Go short? No, I mean, it's up to you. Entirely up to you. I gave you reasons why a short may play out, but I can't make that decision for you. Let's see. Let's see what happens over this next 15 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll answer them for you. I kind of want to leave Bitcoin up, but if you guys want me to look at an altcoin, as long as it's not AssCoin or some stupid ass altcoin, I'll check it out. Let's see. Let's see. Looks like an initial rejection. Yeah, I mean, we need to wait for the 4 hour close, but risk reward wise, I mean, it's definitely there, right? I mean, you're at the top of the range. Although we don't have a pattern. I'd like to see a pattern. That's why I'm not looking to short this yet, at least. Maybe we'll get some kind of 30-minute double top here, go down. Ultimately, I'm waiting for more signals, just because we're low volume going into resistance. This may not even be the resistance. So I for a lot of you that know me, I don't like diagonal resistances. I don't like trading diagonals. But for now, it's looking like we're near or at resistance. What's my take on XRP? It's absolutely useless. Absolutely useless, and it will never go above its all-time high ever again. Yeah, look, we're already rejecting again. Let's even see like a 15-minute. Yeah, there you go. There's your rejection candle. Now we should head back down to the lower range. Let's see. We might get something like this where we had this big solid candle. Look, we're already rejecting. How my beginning in trading looked? I taught everything myself. I watched YouTube videos. I didn't read any books. I learned. I basically developed my own system by looking at historical time frames and historical data. Ultimately, it was a very upward battle for me. It was very, very hard. I basically spent a couple weeks and just started teaching myself how to trade. That's ultimately what it came down to. Let's see, even the 15-minute. Man, if we start closing here, you got some bearish divergence here, but let's wait for the next 15-minute close. See where we go. Even the 30-minute. I mean, it looks like we might actually get our double top here. Between that. Even on that. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna close it here. I'm hungry. It sounds like my girlfriend just got back from the store. We gotta go. We're making fried rice tonight. I'm pretty excited about that. But for those of you that don't know, all the trading analytics and classes are up on Patreon. If you're interested in learning how my system works, how I trade, why I stay so consistent in my bias and I don't flip on candle colors, definitely check that out if you're interested. Again, if you need a new exchange to trade, I recommend checking out Bickit. I don't want to go over the whole spiel again, but I really, I've had no problems with them, and I really, really enjoy them. And again, I'm not the type of person to shill a bunch of bullshit to make money. Ultimately, I want to keep you guys in the right bounds of investing and managing, especially with an exchange. In crypto exchanges, like a lot of them are sketchy. Like you have something like KuCoin or even some of these lower tier exchanges that are literally just closing withdrawals and not allowing you to take your Bitcoin off exchanges. Like that's corrupt in my opinion, criminal. I've never had a problem with Bitkit. They've been very reliable. They've got a great team. And they respond very quickly. Like I've had problems with Binance, and it takes them months to respond. It's ridiculous. But with all that said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. So I hope you guys have a nice rest of your Wednesday. I might be live streaming Friday. It depends. I've got a lot of family coming in town. I planned for it, but we'll see where we are. I might live stream a little bit earlier for my European people. But with all that said, guys, be patient, use risk management, and good luck trading.